Well, you know what? You can have the perfect price. You can have the perfect. Why did you just look at my armpits?
And we're keeping that in there.
You can have the perfect price. You can have the beautiful staging. You can have everything perfect on the home. And if a buyer walks in and the home smells, it is immediately going to turn them off. And they might not say something right up front, but it's going to definitely change the whole trajectory of that viewing.
I totally agree. You know, have you ever noticed that when you go into a place and you smell something, it can have really good memories. You go in, you might smell your grandma's house or things that you grew up with, but then sometimes you go in and there's just an odor that you cannot always put your finger on. So that's what buyers do. Buyers are walking into a house, and when they smell something, all of a sudden they're trying to figure out what it is. And so it totally takes away any viewing of your home, because now they're trying to figure out what the smell is.
That's right. We've seen buyers walk into a home that's priced perfectly. It's in a perfect location. It's got everything on their checklist, but let's just say the smell is off when they walk in. It definitely will. It's going to end the showing. They're going to quickly walk through that property, and then that's the end of it.
Right, exactly. And it can also create negotiation problems. It can be lower offers. Maybe they think it's going to, they wonder what it's going to take to get that smell out of the house. And those are what we're going to talk about today, some different smells and things that you can do to kind of overcome those. The other thing is that it's important that if you have pets or you have something in your house that maybe kind of has an odor, you are immune to that odor. And so it's better to have like an agent or a friend come through and really be someone that's going to be truthful with you.
I will tell you, we have 4 dogs.
Well, I have 4 cats.
And she has 4 cats. And I have said, how many times have I
don't
asked
ask me why, I don't know.
We have asked each other, I can't tell you how many times we'll say, we come into each other's houses and we're like, do you smell the cats? Do you smell the dogs? So that is we do. And I would expect that if she did smell dogs, she'd be like, Jennifer,
yeah,
like, you need to do something. I smell dog.
Well, because we don't want our houses to smell.
No. I don't want anybody to walk in my house and go, she has 4 dogs.
No.
That's the biggest thing.
So I have a thing in my house that is this, my kids do this thing, and it's a big scent machine. And I don't even smell it anymore. And so I
always smell that.
Yeah, so I told my daughter, I said, I don't even smell it. She goes, believe me, Mom, it works.
100%. It's what the hotels use.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
Yes, it really is.
Thing,
especially when you have the good smelling. I had one in there one time that did not smell that well. So we talked about pets a little bit. We love our pets. We really do. Most of the time. We're, and I can't, our script said we're pet people. I am not a pet person, but my husband is, and she is. So, but buyers that don't have pets can smell that usually immediately.
Yes. 100%. And the sellers unfortunately become nose blind. That's why we were just saying we will always say to each other, do you smell dog or do you smell cat or whatever, because we become nose blind to those smells. And pet's a perfect example because it is an innocent thing. We have our pets, we love our pets, we take care of them, and we never think about the fact that the consequences of having those pets. We live on the water, those pets go in the water constantly. They don't like to have a bath, but they're in the river 24/7. I can't keep them out of the river. And one of my dogs is not a water dog, but apparently thinks he's a water dog. So that's a whole nother sidebar. That's a whole nother YouTube.
whole nother script there.
To have that video so you can see that.
So what is something that they can do for their pets?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, this is what we do for our own properties. We would have the carpets professionally cleaned. It's a big deal. They can neutralize those odors. So they'll come in, they'll clean the carpets, and they neutralize the odors. If you have carpets, a lot of times we'll have situations where they don't have carpet in the house and they have hardwood floors, which is great. But it would be a matter of going in and cleaning the baseboards. If there's any pet damage, if the dogs have chewed on the baseboards or the cats have scratched at something. I mean, these are just normal. We're saying dogs, cats. You might have other animals, exotic animals. I don't know. But whatever they're going to do, they're going to cause damage. If they do, you fix it. You make it look nice. You replace the baseboards. You replace the windowsills.
Washing their bedding.
That's a big deal. I do that constantly because they have their room. My dogs do. Privileged. So they constantly wash their bedding because I don't want it to smell in their room, which is also my laundry room, by the way. So also. Cats, litter box.
Yeah. Just clean it out daily. And really more, if you could do it at least twice a day, 3 times is even better. I don't know if any of you have cats, but I know one of my cats, He just has an
He
odor
waits.
when he goes to the
Well, but
bathroom.
he waits for you also to clean the litter box.
Yeah, they wait for me to clean the litter box. So as soon as I clean the litter box, that's when they're going to go into the litter box. And so definitely doing that. And I use like a deodorizer too, but also have an air filter in there. So doing some things like that can help. And especially if it's getting close to a showing, if you know somebody's coming, to go ahead and make sure you clean that out.
Absolutely. Another one, which we've talked about before multiple times, and other issues, right? But the air filters. Cleaning your air filters. That pet hair and dander goes somewhere, right? And it's in your air filter. So if you clean out those air filters, it's going to also help eliminate the smell of pet. Yeah. And everybody, it's not that people have something against a homeowner that has pets, but they want to envision themselves. I say this all the time. They want to envision themselves living in that house. They might not be a pet lover, and all of a sudden they're going to move in and walk into a house and there's got a smell of a cat. Well, just because it's your cat, they don't necessarily want to inherit that cat.
Yeah.
Smell.
Yeah, exactly. The cat smell. They can have the cats. So one of the other things that is really bad for a home is smoke. That smoke smell that we have had on occasions in listings, and that's a little harder to get rid of.
Yes.
Especially if, I've had friends that have smoked outside, and that does seem to help some, but remember, you still have it on your clothes and you're still bringing that smell into the house.
I'm not going to talk to you about what smoking is going to do to you health-wise, because that's a whole nother thing. Here's the thing. Both of us have literally scrubbed walls from past clients who smoked in their home, and then they moved out and we're selling their property, and you can literally see where their pictures hung or whatever. And that's okay, fine. We scrubbed walls. We bought a ozone cleaner. We have an ozone
cleaner that we use.
Yeah, we've cleaned the house. So we know that smokers, if you're going to smoke in your house, we get it. The biggest thing is while you're trying to sell that property, we can do all these things to help eliminate the smell of the cigarette smoke. However, if we do all these things and then you're still smoking in the home, it negates it.
It's not going to help.
So.
Now, you can hire professional companies to come in and do an ozone cleaning. We have a small ozone machine that we use, and it has seemed to work a little bit, but there are professional companies that actually will come out, like even after there's been some major things in the house, like if someone's died in the house, something like that. These companies will come out and they can get out all the smell. Now, it's a little bit trickier because you really can't have any food in there. Nothing's going to live while they're there, because even this ozone cleaner we have is small, but you can't stay in there
in the house.
when you're doing it. So I would suggest that if you smoked in your home, and especially depending on price range, you might consider having one of those more professional companies come out and do that, and then just make sure that you're not smoking in your house anymore.
Also the reality is if you're neutralizing the smell and you have the carpets cleaned, you probably are going to have the walls painted. There are several things that happen when we smoke in our house, and it's not just one thing, it's several things.
The air ducts.
It's everywhere.
And sprays and candles and the plug-ins, they are not going to help that. All they're going to do is mask that, and now you're smelling that plus the extra stuff. Okay, so the third one that we could think of is that musty kind of moisture smell, and that scares buyers. That's not like, okay, I can go in, clean the carpets. Now they're scared because if you ever walked in a house and you go, that kind of smells like mold, well, that's exactly what these buyers are doing. So we've got to make sure, not that you're trying to hide if you have mold, of course, and not trying to hide if there's something wrong with your home, but if there's that smell that's just maybe a little bit musty, which we all have. We live in South Texas. Today it's 70 degrees and tomorrow it could be 90. And so things are growing in our homes, and we just seem to kind of get that musty smell, especially if they keep, boxed up. You're gone to work all day long. So some of the things that you can do is work out clean out from underneath the sinks and making sure that everything is not wet.
It's dry.
Underneath
that
everything is dry.
Absolutely. Another thing is the fans in bathrooms. They're there for a reason, and so a lot of people do not use them when they're taking showers. Well, the whole purpose of those fans in the bathroom is to circulate the air, so that to avoid the humidity buildup in that bathroom. So I would tell my kids all the time. We actually had them set to where they're automatically coming on because it was a fight with the kids. So we had them to where the light came on, the fan came on. It was just an automatic. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it is a big deal if a buyer comes in and all of a sudden they're smelling the moisture smell. We all know that smell. And if they're smelling it, it's going to be immediately a red flag for them.
Well, and especially if you're selling a vacant house,
Right.
because the homes, they stay closed up, and so now you are kind of getting that musty smell in the house. Right. And not like you don't ever want to not disclose something that you know about, but just saying that there are some things. We do have humidity here, so
Right.
there are some things that you can do.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of
Bless you, bless you.
Thanks.
Y'all know we're like real here. Not that I have this issue, but cooking odors.
Just from the microwave.
Just from the microwave. I don't think the microwave makes that many.
Burnt toast.
Exactly. Exactly. You know how when you fry fish and in your house, or you cook fish, and how that smell lingers? Well, there are cooking smells depending on what spices that you're using. Different cultures use different spices and different things in their food, and so those are things that can carry into a house.
Right. So a lot of times that's a simple fix. It's a matter of just making sure the trash has been taken out, or the vent in your stove. Mm-hmm. Like if you have that built-in vent in your stove, like I have that, and so a lot of times just cleaning that out. We don't expect you not to be cooking and living. You're living in your home, so we get that. So it's just a matter of figuring out, and that's where we come into play. We'll help you with whatever we need to do to figure out how to overcome that obstacle.
Yeah, just don't cook. That's my motto. Now just do.
She's telling the truth.
I am telling the truth. We talked about vacant homes just a moment ago. Those stay closed up. So yes, some air fresheners, we'll talk about those in just a moment, may help a little bit, but just making sure that you go over every once in a while and mop the floors and
leaving the AC on.
Yes, leave the AC on. Do not turn the AC off.
Yes.
Do not.
Leaving ceiling fans running.
Because now we not only run to the closed house smell, now we're running into musty and mildewy smell. Mm-hmm. Remember, where did I say we live? South Texas. And so we have so many people that want to turn the AC off, and you can't do that here in Lake Jackson. You just can't.
No.
And because it's not going to happen. So after all of those, you've changed the filters, you've possibly got your carpets cleaned, you've cleaned your house, you've done different things to help that smell. What not to do?
Well, we've already kind of hit base on it, but you definitely don't want to try to cover it up. I mean, the worst thing is we've walked into homes with the plugins, and you walk in and you're just hit in the face with plug-in smells. And yes, I get it.
Plug-ins work. I mean, I love plug-ins, but not 20.
Yeah, we could put them a few and strategically place them in the house to where you're not just getting hit with a lavender field as soon as you walk into the front door. So I would say that's a big deal. Not too many. And then candles. It's the same thing with candles. I mean, I'm a candle. I love candles.
I love candles. Bath and Body Works. They're my favorite, actually.
So candles having too many. And yes, there is such a thing as too many candles. I know. I'm sorry. I know that's going to offend some people. But I would say being very mindful of the candles, having candles and plug-ins. And I'm weird. I like to match my scents. I'm like, if I've got vanilla, I'm gonna do something that matches with vanilla.
Okay.
Do you do that?
No.
Okay. So I said it. I started the sentence with "I'm weird," so I knew that. And not you don't have to just spray a ton of stuff either. Just keep it simple on that. So sometimes less is more.
Yeah, exactly. And the first thing you want to do is just make sure your home is clean, making sure that it's the smells are neutral in a sense. Yes, you're going to put some things in there, but in the very last, that's when it's best to put that light, fresh scent in there. Nowadays, you can buy Glade, Airwick, Bath and Body Works, Scentsies. I mean, there's just anything imaginable out there to be able to use. And so you can definitely find some things to help your house smell well.
Unfortunately, if a house has too much of a scent, like the plugins or whatever, the buyer might think you're trying to cover something up.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
We would rather just come in and here's the thing we've talked about before in some of our other videos. If there is a problem, if there is a water leak or there has been water damage, as long as you're disclosing that, and as agents, if we know that going into it, we're able to overcome that fear right away.
Buyers do better with what they know than what they don't know.
Absolutely.
So we've said it 100 times. So if you're looking at selling, and we would love to be able to come over to your house and we will walk through and we will be honest with you. You may not want to hear it, but we will be honest with you, and we're glad that you came today and joined us. And once again, if you have anything that you would love for us to talk about, we would love for you to drop it in the comments, and we'll do a video on it.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.